A rose is a woody perennial of the genus Rosa, within the family Rosaceae. There are over 100 species. They form a group of plants that can be erect shrubs, climbing or trailing with stems that are often armed with sharp prickles. Flowers vary in size and shape and are usually large and showy, in colors ranging from white through yellows and reds. Most species are native to Asia, with smaller numbers native to Europe, North America, and Northwest Africa. Species, cultivars and hybrids are all widely grown for their beauty and often are fragrant. Rose plants range in size from compact, miniature roses, to climbers that can reach 7 meters in height. Different species hybridize easily, and this has been used in the development of the wide range of garden roses. The name rose comes from French, itself from Latin rosa, which was perhaps borrowed from Oscan, from Greek iii 1/2 rhódon, itself borrowed from Old Persian wurdi, related to Avestan where unregistered trademark IA, Sogdian word, Parthian wascentar. Botany. The leaves are borne alternately on the stem. In most species they are 5 to 15 cm long, pinnate, with 5–9 leaflets and basal stipules. The leaflets usually have a serrated margin, and often a few small prickles on the underside of the stem. Most roses are deciduous but a few are evergreen or nearly so. The flowers of most species have 5 petals, with the exception of Rosaceae, which usually has only 4. Each petal is divided into 2 distinct lobes and is usually white or pink, though in a few species yellow or red. Beneath the petals are 5 sepals. These may be long enough to be visible when viewed from above and appear as green points alternating with the rounded petals. There are multiple superior ovaries that develop into acorns. Roses are insect-pollinated in nature. The aggregate fruit of the rose is a berry-like structure called a rose hip. Many of the domestic cultivars do not produce hips, as the flowers are so tightly petaled that they do not provide access for pollination. The hips of most species are red, but a few have dark purple to black hips. Each hip comprises an outer fleshy layer, the hypanthium, which contains 5–160 seeds embedded in a matrix of fine, but stiff, hairs. Rose hips of some species, especially the dog rose and rugosa rose, are very rich in vitamin C, among the richest sources of any plant. The hips are eaten by fruit-eating birds such as thrushes and waxwings, which then disperse the seeds in their droppings. Some birds, particularly finches, also eat the seeds. While the sharp objects along a rose stem are commonly called thorns, they are technically prickles outgrowths of the epidermis. Rose prickles are typically sickle-shaped hooks, which aid the rose in hanging onto other vegetation when growing over it. Some species such as Rosa rugosa and Rosa pimpinellifolia have densely packed straight prickles, probably an adaptation to reduce browsing by animals, but also possibly an adaptation to trap wind-blown sand and so reduce erosion and protect their roots. Despite the presence of prickles, roses are frequently browsed by deer. A few species of roses have only vestigial prickles that have no points. Species. The genus Rosa is subdivided into 4 subgenera, Halthemia containing 1 or 2 species from Southwest Asia, are Persica and Rosa berberifolia, which are the only roses without compound leaves or stipules. Spodos contains Rosa minutifolia and Rosa stellata, from North America. Platyhodon with 1 species from East Asia, Rosa roxburghi. Rosa containing all the other roses. This subgenus is subdivided into 11 sections. Banksiania white and yellow-flowered roses from China. Bracteotaria 3 species, 2 from China and 1 from India. Cannonia pink and white-flowered species from Asia, Europe and North Africa. Carolinia white, pink, and bright pink-flowered species all from North America. Chinensis white, pink, yellow, red and mixed-color roses from China and Burma. Gallicanaria pink to crimson and striped-flowered roses from Western Asia and Europe. Gymnocarpia 1 species in western North America, others in East Asia. Lovicatia a single white-flowered species from China. Pimpinellifolia white, pink, bright yellow, mauve and striped roses from Asia and Europe. Rosa white, pink, lilac, mulberry and red roses from everywhere but North Africa. Cinstillaria white, pink, and crimson-flowered roses from all areas. Uses: roses are best known as ornamental plants grown for their flowers in the garden and sometimes indoors. They have been also used for commercial perfumery and commercial cut flower crops. Some are used as landscape plants, for hedging and for other utilitarian purposes such as game cover and slope stabilization. They also have minor medicinal uses. Ornamental plants. The majority of ornamental roses are hybrids that were bred for their flowers. A few, mostly species roses are grown for attractive or scented foliage, ornamental thorns or for their showy fruit. Ornamental roses have been cultivated for millennia, with the earliest known cultivation known to date from at least 500 BC in Mediterranean countries, Persia, and China. Many thousands of rose hybrids and cultivars have been bred and selected for garden use as flowering plants. Most are double-flowered with many or all of the stamens having mutated into additional petals. In the early 19th century the Empress Josephine of France patronized the development of rose breeding at her gardens at Malmaison. As long ago as 1840 a collection numbering over 1,000 different cultivars, varieties and species was possible when a rosarium was planted by Loddiger's nursery for Abney Park Cemetery, an early Victorian garden cemetery and arboretum in England. Cut flowers. Roses are a popular crop for both domestic and commercial cut flowers. Generally they are harvested and cut when in bud, and held in refrigerated conditions until ready for display at their point of sale. In temperate climates, cut roses are often grown in glass houses, and in warmer countries they may also be grown under cover in order to ensure that the flowers are not damaged by weather and that pest and disease control can be carried out effectively. Significant quantities are grown in some tropical countries, and these are shipped by air to markets across the world. Perfume. Rose perfumes are made from attar of roses or rose oil, which is a mixture of volatile essential oils obtained by steam distilling the crushed petals of roses. An associated product is rose water, which is used for cooking, cosmetics, medicine and in religious practices. The production technique originated in Persia, then spread through Arabia and India, and more recently into Eastern Europe. In Bulgaria, Iran and Germany, damask roses are used. In other parts of the world Rosaceae centifolia is commonly used. The oil is transparent pale yellow or yellow-grey in color. Rose absolute is solvent extracted with hexane and produces a darker oil, dark yellow to orange in color. The weight of oil extracted is about 1/3000th to 1/6000th of the weight of the flowers. For example, about 2,000 flowers are required to produce 1 gram of oil. The main constituents of attar of roses are the fragrant alcohols geraniol and L-citronolol and rose camphor, an odorless solid composed of alkanes, which separates from rose oil. I-squared damascenone is also a significant contributor to the scent. Food and drink. Rose hips are occasionally made into jam, jelly, and marmalade, or are brewed for tea, primarily for their high vitamin C content. They are also pressed and filtered to make rosehip syrup. Rose hips are also used to produce rosehip seed oil, which is used in skin products and some makeup products. Rose petals or flower buds are sometimes used to flavor ordinary tea, or combined with other herbs to make herbal teas. In France there is much use of rose syrup, most commonly made from an extract of rose petals. In the United States, this French rose syrup is used to make rose scones and marshmallows. In the Indian subcontinent ruafza, a concentrated squash made with roses, is popular, as well as rose-flavored ice cream and kulfi. Rose flowers are used as food, also usually as flavoring or to add their scent to food. Other minor uses include candied rose petals. Rose creams are a traditional English confectionery widely available from numerous producers in the UK. Medicine. The rose hip, usually from Echinacea, is used as a minor source of vitamin C. The fruits of many species have significant levels of vitamins and have been used as a food supplement. Many roses have been used in herbal and folk medicines. Rosa chinensis has long been used in Chinese traditional medicine. This and other species have been used for stomach problems, and are being investigated for controlling cancer growth. Culture, art. Roses are a favored subject in art and appear in portraits, illustrations, on stamps, as ornaments or as architectural elements. The Luxembourg-born Belgian artist and botanist Pierre-Joseph Redouté copyright is known for his detailed watercolors of flowers, particularly roses. Henri Fantin-Later was also a prolific painter of still life, particularly flowers including roses. The rose Fantin-Later was named after the artist. Other Impressionists including Claude Monet, Paul Carr copyright Cézanne and Pierre-Auguste Renoir have paintings of roses among their works. Symbolism. The long cultural history of the rose has led to it being used often as a symbol. Pests and diseases. Wild roses are host plants for a number of pests and diseases. Many of these are also shared with other plants, including especially other genera of the Rosaceae. Cultivated roses are often subject to severe damage from insect, arachnid and fungal pests and diseases. In many cases they cannot be usefully grown without regular treatment to control these problems. See also: Category, Rose cultivars, List of Award of Garden Merit Roses, ADROs, List of rose cultivars named after people, Rose Hall of Fame, Rose Garden, Rose Show, Rose Trial Grounds. References. External links: World Federation of Rose Societies, Chisholm, Hugh, ed. Rose. Encyclopædia Britannica. Cambridge University Press A.